So this moment that we find ourselves in, this really abnormal political and economic moment. So as I said when I began, I am going to ask you 3 questions that we need to reckon with this year. My first question is, how did we get here? We got here because no one in any position of influence fights back. No one speaks for middle-class families. No one speaks for American workers. So, to fight back against the extreme left, we need Republicans in office that have backbones of steel. Republicans like Representative Mark Higley, former Representative Gary Vians, Representative Vicki Strong, who I see right there, and Representative Brian Smith of Orleans County are stellar examples. This is why I am running, and this is what's at stake at the August 11th primary. The Vermont Lieutenant Governor's office the race is wide open. So no matter what, we will elect a new person to that office this November. We have a rare opportunity to win this seat for our party. In order to defeat the Progressive Democrat nominee, we need a candidate that offers a distinct alternative to the extreme left's vision for Vermont. We cannot risk putting our future in the hands of milquetoast candidates that don't believe in anything. We cannot expect to be justly and passionately represented by weak candidates that live in deathly fear of being canceled by the extreme left. I am running to do my part in ensuring that 2020 will be a turning point for Vermont and not the point of no return. This brings me to my second question. Do you want real change in Vermont? As I assumed, each of us here would be inclined to say yes, but before you do, let me repeat the question. Do you want real change in Vermont? Real change is time-consuming, frustrating, difficult, and conflict-ridden. Not conflict for the sake of conflict, but conflict that arises when you dare to have the courage of your convictions and the will and determination to act on them. Conflict has to arise because all those that benefit from the current system and don't want it to change will feel threatened and attack you. If you are not ready to deal with conflict, then you are not ready for real change. Now, my third and final question. Who are we fighting for? Vermonters deserve a bold and fresh ally in their next lieutenant governor who prioritizes freedom and prosperity for all. This is the ethos of our campaign of small towns and big hearts. Prosperity is not limited to financial abundance. Prosperity means having the freedom to build the lives that we want for ourselves and our families. But to create prosperity, we first need freedom, and freedom begins with economic freedom. There can be no political freedom, healthcare freedom, education freedom, or any other freedom without economic freedom first. Vermont today lags behind as the 49th or 50th state when it comes to every economic indicator. This is the driving cause of our demographic crisis. In medical school, I learned that a good doctor never treats the symptoms alone. He always correctly identifies the underlying pathology and treats it accordingly. So let me diagnose the underlying problem with Vermont. It is our structurally weak economy that is shackled by mountains of red tape and draconian regulations. The private sector is anemic, and this is the deliberate result of the policy agenda imposed on us by the supermajority in Montpelier. So when we hear about young people, middle-class families, and working professionals abandoning Vermont, this is because of the whole-scale deindustrialization of our state that has hollowed out our economy. Even seniors that rely on fixed incomes are compelled to leave their lifelong homes in Vermont for other states like Florida with less punishing taxes. For those of us under the age of 40, like my husband and myself, there is no sustainable future in Vermont. I've had numerous conversations with Vermonters like myself who want to own homes here, who want to own thriving businesses and farms, but cannot. I've heard from so many who, like me, want to be able to raise children here, build careers, save for retirement, and grow old here, but simply cannot. Vermont offers no upwardly mobile careers that allow us to create wealth and own property. Wealth creation and property ownership are the two main aspirations of the middle class, and a strong middle class is essential for a healthy representative democracy. The dreams and ambitions of the middle class for a better life should be encouraged, not restrained by a know-it-all state apparatus that tells Vermonters what to do and when. The American dream in Vermont does not need to die with your generation. We have a clear choice before us. A clear choice between the prison guards of the past, those that have presided over the decline and fall of Vermont on the one hand, and on the other hand, those of us that stand for a brave, bold, and brand new vision of prosperity for all Vermonters. I ask for your vote on August 11th to be the Republican nominee for Vermont's next Lieutenant Governor so that I can defeat the progressive Democrat in the general election. Thank you very much.